All right, so good evening once again to all the masters in this Code with Lawrence. Here is the assignment that I gave yesterday, and I told you to go and do it so that today we will do the correction. And I want to believe that you all tried, and we are going to see how it is being done. So it's a mini project, quite all right, that talks about the student information system using strings in C programming that we did yesterday. So notwithstanding, we have to create as an objective a C program that will allow the user to enter the names and the information of students. Then the second thing as an objective is that we have to display each student's information clearly and show the length of each name entered by the user, of course. And then this number 4 is optional. So if you are able to do it, it will be good. So we should be able to search for any student by the name. Then as requirements, we have to use this. We must not use all of them, but we can use some of them. Then here, we are expected, this is like a small algorithm, we're expected to ask the user to how many students they want to enter. And then for each of these students, we need to collect their full names, the gender, and the department where the student is found. Then we save and then display all the details of these students that have been entered clearly, and then even show the number of characters that are found in each name entered by the user. And our system will equally be able to allow the user to search the student by name and equally display their full information if they are being found. So quickly, we are going to go to IDE, see IDE development environment. Yesterday, I used code block. Today, I've decided to use another one, which is VS Code. That's Visual Studio Code. Just want to make you know that you can be dynamic. Any of the IDE that you are comfortable with is welcome. Just stay with what you have. Don't copy me. If you cannot use Visual Studio, if you can use code block, if you can use Dev C++, if you can use C free IDE, any one of your choice, you are comfortable with it, stay with it. It works the same. Okay, so here I already started something and I said this is an information system for students. So this is student information system. And we already know that we have to include this library if you are supposed to use string. And of course, we are dealing with strings. So I decided that I will hard code so that you can see at each stage how things are being done. But if time is cutting us short, I will rush. So right now, the first thing we have to do is to declare some variables that will be able to take into consideration when we are supposed to enter or ask the user to enter something. And so when you look at what I seen in class, the way it is being started, I want to go to that system and begin to open and waste time. Since I sent the question ahead of time and you've already worked on it, I'm just going to answer it so that you should see and learn and equally clarify yourself. So the first thing here, I need to declare, let me say I need to use macro to declare the maximum number of what? Number of names.
Student.
Or number of students, thank you. Maximum number of students that we're supposed to have. And equally what? The maximum length of character that are going to be found in each student name. Not so. So here,
Okay.
we have to use macro, and this is how macro is being defined using this preprocessor. You have hash define, and then you have maximum number of students, and this maximum number of students that we have, let us just say that, okay, the student can enter 5, or the user can enter maybe 5 students, also. And out of these 5 students, we need to know the length of each student name, the maximum length that is found in each of the students' name. So we use again this macro, then we just say maximum length. Okay, let me just allow it like that, maximum length. And let us say that the maximum length of each student, the student name can be maybe 15 characters. Then, when that is done, we now get into our main program. We get to our main program, and then inside our main program, we now need to declare the character array, because this is just the size. Up here, we're talking about the size. The maximum number of students is the size. Then the maximum length is still the size. But we have not yet declared that array of characters. So we have to declare the array of characters. So the first array of character we are going to declare here, let me just say declaration of arrays of characters, aka also known as strings. So here we have character, and then here we are going to talk about the names of the students. So we have names of students. Let me use the same format. So we have names of students, and then here we need that maximum number of students that we are going to enter, and we need the maximum length of that student. So we are going to say the maximum number of students, and then it's a 2-dimensional array, and then we have the maximum length for that particular student, or for the students in general. So we also have gender, because we were asked that we should get the full names, the gender, and the department. So we have just declared that character array to obtain the full names. We have to declare to obtain the gender, and we have to also declare to obtain the department. So to do that, we repeat this, and then here we have student gender. Let me use student genders. And then here we still talk about the maximum, because the maximum number of students will be equal to the gender. If I use 5 students, it means that I need to also use 5 gender. The number of students will be equal to the gender of the students as well. So the next one is the maximum length of that gender. And we also need to do that for department. So I can just say student department. Then inside the student department is the same thing. Number of students equals to number of departments that we are going to have, perhaps maximum number. You have maximum length of that department that we are going to enter. Okay, this one said and done. The next thing that we have to do now is we need to ask the user to enter those names, because our program here says we should ask the user how many students they want to enter. So to do that, we go back to our program, and then we maybe say here now we want to ask the student, or the user, the person who is using the application, how many students would you like to to enter. How many students would like to enter? And because we need to know the number of students that the user is going to enter as a message, so we have printf to throw the user that message that enter the number of what? The number of students. Yes, number of students. Then we need to obtain that number of students. So we need to create space for that. So scanf, you have %d because it's an integer. If it's putting 1 or 2 out of the maximum number that we have maximum 5, but the student can, but the user can decide to put 2, can decide to put 3 out of this 5. So we just have to, we don't know. Since we don't know, we need to declare a variable to obtain since it's changing. So here we just declare a small variable like integer, and inside this integer we just put number of what? Students. Number of students, semicolon. So here we are going to now put num of students, semicolon. So at this time, the user will be able to enter maybe out of 5 students, he will enter maybe 2 or 3 and so on. Now, there is a problem here. We are using dealing with characters. Each time we enter this, we use scanf. Actually, there is a certain new line that is being added at the end of each character. As the user enters maybe 6 and press enter, it's going to enter this at the end of the string. And so we have to get character to clear it off. So I always have the habit of clearing it off so that it should make my code to be clear. So here I'm going to write a comment so that I should know what I'm talking about. So here this one is going to clear the new line that is going to be added in case it is being added as well at the end of our line. So clear new character after the scanf function is being used. Okay, so right now we have to now get the details of this student. So because this is just to enter the number of students, but we need to obtain the names of those students. We need to obtain the names of those students, and to obtain the detail or we have to obtain the details, which means we have to obtain the names, the student, gender, and the department. And to do that, we need to use a for loop. So let me first of all write a comment here that this is where we have to talk about enter, input the detail information of each student. I say each student because the number of students we are going to have depend on the user. If the user decide 1, 2, 3, we'll be entering the information for each student. So we need to use the for loop to verify the boundary of our array. You know, the index of array is very important to be sure that the number that we have to enter is not more than the size of the array that has been declared, or the more than the array. So we know it already. So I need a counter. I will use I for that counter equals to 0. I'm starting from 0. The counter, that I there is the index of that array of characters. So I want to be sure that the array I, but we see that this counter is not yet declared, right? Since it's an integer, I will just go up here and add I. Okay, so that it should act as my counter. So this I should be less than what? Number of students. It's not maximum number of students, but number of students. So num of students, semicolon. Then we have to increment. And after that increment, what are we going to do next? We now need to print maybe a message to say, okay, student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, and then we get the full names of that student and so on. So here I would prefer to bring a message to the user first, telling the user that, okay, this is the first student that you want to enter, this is the second student you want to enter, and so on. So let me use this percentage n before to signify that it's step to the new line before it's able to print. And when it's going to print, just say student. And here we'll be expecting maybe student 1. So we put percentage D to obtain that student 1 name from the user. Okay, so it will be entered there. Then after that, maybe move to the next line before we continue with the next information. And so here, I'm going to put now I plus 1. Why? Because my I start from 0. If I don't add plus 1 to it, it will say student 0. There's nobody like student 0. We always start student 1, but our index start from 0. If I start my index from 1, and then I am not going to have less than 1, less than a number, I'll say less than or equal to, and then here I'm just going to use I. So it depends on you. This is what I want to do. So after that, I now say, okay, we need to input the student full name. So we also said, okay, print F, we have to enter the full name of the student. So we have full name, the full names of the student, as we're asked in our program that we should enter the full name. So I'm here, enter the full name of the student. If you like, you put S there. Some people have their full names without which is just 1. So this is just a message that will be printed to the user requesting for the full name to be entered. So I'm using now this function, like I said, we should use this function, fgets, for self input. It's very safe because this one you can use, you can enter the long name as much as you can and it will not disturb. But if you use scanf, it will be limited. It's not really safe. So I'm going to use my fgets, and then here I'm going to get as the function may, we need the name of the student, and here the name of the student is, we have to get it here. We have the names of students here. So we have names of students, and inside there we have to put the counter, maybe the name of student 1, name of student 2, name of student 3, and so on. And then here we need to make sure that the maximum length that are going to be found in that first student name. If we are putting a name, maybe John Book, and then that's the first student, and then the number of character there should be the same. So we must verify to be sure that the maximum length is not exceeded. And then we are going to use stdin just to show that this name is being typed using the keyboard, which means that we are obtaining input from the user keyboard. And we need to put semicolon at the end. Now, each time we use this, there is an extra character that is also added at the end. So we need to use, yes, please.
What is the meaning of that STIN?
It's standard now, standard input. Just like here, STD means standard, okay? So this one means that we are obtaining a standard input from the keyboard. That is the meaning of that one. So like I was saying, we have to remove a new line. Each time we use this function, there is a new line that is being added when we press enter. So we have to remove that new line. When we type our names, maybe if you type John Book, at the end, when you take your enter, it's going to attach this one at the end. And this is going to make sure that the name move to the next line, which is not good. So in order to clear that, and we have to assign this to maybe a null character so that it should mark the end of this string and not the end of the line. So we have to use, we have to assign now the names or names of students. Use this function, names of students of that array that we have. And then we use this is the way it is being declared. And then we use this also string function, which is string comparison span. That's what it means, SPN, which is going to compare the string, and is going to compare with string the names of the students that are found in that position or in that index. And if it finds out that at the end of it, we have this new line that is being added at the end of it, we should assign it, that is, we should assign it to this null character. When we assign to this null character, it's going to end without moving any line or adding a new line. So here I'm saying that this one is to remove new line. And we know that new line in C programming is always attributed as /n. So it's going to remove that new line. So we have to do the same for agenda, because this is a full name. We are supposed to ask the full name. We have to look for the agenda and the department. So the same thing, I will just type fast without talking. Or maybe if you like me to be talking, I will talk. So here we have to print gender. I'm printing the gender. What next? We have to use the same function, fget. Then here we have student gender. Position. That is, we have maximum length should be respected. And we need to know that we are obtaining a standard input from the user keyboard. And then we need to also clear that student gender. So you have st string span, comparison span of maximum student gender. All right. So we compare it to be sure that if we find out that it is this, we should assign it to no character. You complain. Okay, yeah, I'm supposed to put but this. Close it where supposed to close, but yeah. So we need to also do same for department also. So I print here, say department. It's a message. And then for each department, I need to get, what am I getting here? Maximum number of student. No, this is maximum student department. Student department. And here we talk about the maximum then obtaining the input from the keyboard. So we also need to clear it, the new line that we are supposed to have there. So we have student department. That this, we have string comparison span. I think I spelled it well. Yes. This talk about the student department. After that, if we compare and see that we have this. We assign it to this null character to end the string. Okay, I think right now we have obtained the input from the user. And after obtaining this input from the user, what next? We need to display the information. We need to display the information. So far, I would like to run and see, but I will just type and run at once. If there's any error, will occur at the end. Because if I go and run now and come back, we'll be running many times and we'll be wasting time. So here, I need to display this information, display the detailed information. As we're told here, save and display all the detail clearly. So we are on line 3. We have obtained this. We want to now display this information. So in order to display that information, we still need to use a for loop. So before that, I will just bring here maybe a message to say that, okay, this is the information that we are using. So I just put a setting all students detail information. This is just a message to let the person who has entered the information to know that this is the display. So we have to use the counter to be sure that our array is still intact. So we have this, and we have I is less than number of students, then I plus plus. So we enter. So here we need to print or display, call the information from above, and then print it here. So print F, and then I'm going to use maybe the first one. I want to print my message like this, maybe 1 full stop. Maybe you have John book, and then comma. Oh my goodness. You have this, and then put the other student name. Maybe you have department or gender, maybe male. And then after that, I will say this is in the department of maybe computer science. So that notwithstanding, so the first one here is percentage %T. So I have percentage %T. And after that, I put full stop. Then to get the string, I'm going to use percentage %S. Then let me just put this sign just to separate percentage %S again for the is a name for the gender, and then here percentage %S the third time for what? For the name of the student. And we will also get the maximum length of each character. So I will just put here name length, the length, because we are asked to present the length of found in each character. So we know this, we used it yesterday. And after that, move to the new line. So that notwithstanding, I just need to call the variables here now. And the variables I'm going to call is the I plus 1, which is up here. I'm calling this one. That's number 1. Then after that, I need the names of the students. So I have names of students, and it is an array of counters, so I put I. Then after that, I need the gender. So I need student gender, then put I. After that, I need department also. So I need student department, After that, I need the length that is found in that name. So we use this function that we talked about yesterday, and then here I'm going to use the name of students. Then I think it's done. All right. Then I put semicolon at the end. So right now, I will not search for any name because it was optional. We first of all run this to see whether it has displayed to us. So Control S for save. I need to come here and run. Error compiling. What's the problem? Okay. Let me trace where the error is found. Terminal will be used. Okay, let me see. Let me run here, run my code. Okay, it's complaining about the length, the string length. Did I type it well? This is the problem. It's complaining about this one here. Okay, so normally I was supposed to put the size to know which they are using there. Okay, so there's a names of students. Yeah, normally I was supposed to put the names of students like that. So let me compile again. It's running. It's running. This is it here. You have enter name of students. Okay, but maybe I will write to run it so that you can see a pop-up window. I need to run there. Let me run, compile and run default. Okay, this is a window that I'm expecting to have here. So now they say enter the number of students. The number of, so let me just enter 2. You see, enter the full names for student 1. So I'm going to just say, okay, for student 1, I'm going to say John Book. And then the gender is male. After male, department is maybe ICT. Then you say enter for student 2. Students 2 can be, let me say, may replay. Okay. And this may replay is a female. And then the department of computer. All right. Now see, they say the first student is John Book. It's a male, ICT department, and the name learn, it has 9 characters. And this one also has 9 characters. It's coincident. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus this space here. And the same thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus this space here. So in order to remove this space, another long procedure, but for now, this is how we have seen it. It's not too bad. So right now we are going to write the search program to be able to search the name of any student. Okay. So at this point now, I'm going to, the time will cut off short. Time will cut off short because this thing. All right. Notwithstanding, you have search. I'm going to search for students. Student by their names. By their names. So in order to do that, I need to declare another array of search name. And I still need the maximum length of that array that we declared over there. So I print a message just to tell the user that, okay, these are the names that we have searched, and we have searched by name. So /n, I will now say, okay, search name. Let me say search for a student. Search for student. Want to search for a student at this time? Yes. So I enter that message there. Now we are going to use the same function fget to get the name we want to search from the user. All right. So I have this. I say search name, comma, then here maximum learn, then st what? Sorry. Very good. And we need to also clear the thing that we talked about the other time. So string using span, then here I'm talking about search name. And I say that if this search name is having something like this, we should declare it to a null character. This semicolon in here. Okay, when this is happening, then what are we going to say? We now use if maybe we declare another variable initialize found to 0. So we start by saying that we have not found anything, but we have to verify when I equals to 0. Okay, that from the, because we are looking from that our array equals to number of students. We have I plus plus. So we are looking from that array. Oh my God, maybe time will cut us short. Anyway, if time cuts us short, there's no problem. So we have if we have to compare the names, string comparison. We are comparing the names. So here, what are we comparing? You have names of students, names of students at a certain position in our array. And if we are comparing this name of student with what? We are comparing it with the name that we are searching. Okay, because we need to search for the name. So when we find we have to compare the name with the name that we have search. So search name, and then we compare it with this other one. And when we see that it is equal to 0, it means that they are equal. It means that they are equal. And if they are equal, we just need to bring a message to the user that the name has been found. So printf, we have to say, okay, your name has been found. And what is the name? Percentage S. We say we should bring the name and department. So percentage S again. And then we have percentage S. One is for name, one is for gender, one is for department.